know at first it may not seem like a controversial riff, but to be honest, there's some details and little nuances that still up to this day I'm not certain how they go. Maybe by the end of the video we could shed some light on these issues, and maybe we could do a poll at the end and see what you guys think are the right way to play this part. Just to make things easier, I use this guitar that's tuned to standard D, whereas the Relic Far Beyond guitar that I have is in 425 standard D. Let's go through now the notes. I'm gonna play only power chords and only refer to the core note. So we're gonna start on an upbeat on the A3 and go up to the 5 and the 7. And then we start the pattern here, going down to the A5 and then back to the 7. So far. And then we do a muted open E string. These open muted E strings are in between the transition from going to the A string to the E string. And then from the E3 we go up to the 5. Another muted open E string and then go back to the A5 and 7. And then again muted open E string. And then instead of going from the 3 to the 5, now from the 5 to the 7. And then one more open muted E. And then at the end of the round, twice the A8. So far we got this. We start over from the A7. And this is what we keep repeating 4 times. So the third time would be. And then the fourth. And also muted E at the end. But instead of going to the A8, this now becomes the second part of the chorus. Now we go to the A5, adding the low E string twice. And then 4, 3, 4. So far. And then open muted E string. And we go to the E1 and 2. And then do this back and forth kind of thing after the muted open E to the 3rd fret. And then go up to the 4th. And then an open muted E string. And do the back and forth between these. So far we got this. And then instead of playing the 3 and 4, now twice the 5th position. And start over. And now we start over from the 3rd fret up to the 5th and then the 7th, leaving out the E string now, so it's just regular power chords. And then. And here we stop. Okay, so far it's very simple, straightforward, nothing too complicated. The debate that I've been having in my head, there's 2 actually. One is that when we start the rounds from the 7th to the 5 on the A string, there's a little bit of a slide arriving to the 5th. And then pick the A5. So let me demonstrate, just overemphasizing it. So, in the context of playing the entire round, would sound like this. And then, so it's always the beginning. Can kind of hear that there's 2 versions of this slide down. First, really laid back and pulled back, like literally arrive right before we would pick the A5. Something like this. So, this is one version, let's call it version A. And then version B would be with a little different rhythm-wise, meaning that instead of holding it for almost a quarter note, now we slide down sooner, like if it's an 8th note, instead of. Can kind of hear a variation of these 2. Let me play within the context of the first round, starting with an A and then B, and then A and B again. So. B. A again. but it's hard to tell because the bass is very loud in this mix, which I think is amazing. And maybe that does something that kind of has been throwing me off in a good way. Somewhat hard to tell what's really happening with these slides there. I can definitely hear the slide on the guitar, but whether it's a version A or a B or a mix of both, that's debatable. Let me know what you think. And then there's one more thing that's to me is debatable. That would be whether is everything picked downwards like this, or if there's a slide up on both strings, starting on the E string and then on the A string as well. Let me show you this. Slide and then slide. Slide, slide. Instead of... See? Let me play the entire round using slides now. And it's only debatable for me for this first part of the chorus, and then when it comes back. I did another demonstration in which I'm gonna be mixing these two. I'm gonna start play with the slides. So what do you think? I can kind of also hear that everything on the A string dynamically is picked harder, whereas on the E string, everything is more subtle, more soft. Let me demonstrate that. I can hear the dynamic difference between picking the A string and then the E string. To me it sounds and feels like everything on the E string is more subtle for this part of the chorus, and everything on the A string is more hardcore, more dynamic. Yeah? A lot of questions for me. So what do you think? Which one is the right way? Picking everything or sliding with the dynamics or without the dynamic differences? There's a lot of questions like that. Okie dokie, that's about it. Well, thank you very much. This was it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified on future content. And of course, if you want to give a thumbs up or like, just comment for helping the algorithm to push the content and the channel. That would be more than welcome. Also, I got a Patreon site, so if you want to support me to grow this channel and or want to get tabs and other exclusive contents, click on the link down below. Thank you very much. This was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.